Welcome to Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging headfirst into, well, a really fascinating collection of headlines. Stuff that paints a vivid, pretty dynamic picture of contemporary India.
Absolutely.
If you've been curious about the incredible pace, just the sheer diversity of news coming out of India lately, then yeah, you're definitely in the right place.
Mhm.
We've gathered a stack of sources, articles, research, all centered around one specific day, July 13th, 2025.
Right. And what's compelling is looking at them together. You know,
Yeah.
how these seemingly separate stories, they give you such a lens into India's pulse right now.
Exactly. So our mission today is to move beyond just, reporting the news. We want to unpack these top stories,
Yeah, get into the context.
explore the underlying context, the
Yeah.
surprising details, the broader implications, stuff that really helps you become well-informed and hopefully quickly and thoroughly.
And the range is quite something.
It really is. We're
Mm.
talking everything from, high drama and cricket
Always a big one.
to critical air safety investigations, national tech ambitions, uh, deeply personal human struggles, even the intricate dance of political power.
It's a real snapshot.
It is a nation in motion, full of contradictions, complexities, and we're here to sort of guide you through it. Okay, let's unpack this.
Sounds good. And each headline, whether it's sport, tech, or, these profound societal challenges, reflects different vital facets of a rapidly evolving country. So this deep dive today, it's about providing you with the threads, hopefully, to
Right.
connect these narratives,
Right.
understanding not just what happened, but why it matters, and maybe what deeper patterns emerge when you look at them collectively.
Absolutely. So let's kick things off with something that always gets the nation roaring. Cricket, specifically drama at Lord's.
Ah, yes, the Anderson Tendulkar Trophy. Third test, day 3. Always intense.
Always delivers, doesn't it? Top tier test cricket. And this particular incident, it just set social media ablaze, ignited passionate debates everywhere.
It involved the Indian skipper, Shubman Gill, and England opener, Zach Crawley. Right at the end of the day's play, wasn't it? During the final over.
Yeah, the final over. And it was a fiery exchange, to say the least. A moment that just perfectly captured the raw emotion, the high stakes of a test match like this.
The tension was just palpable. You could feel it.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing centered around Gill confronting Crawley about, well, what he saw as time-wasting tactic.
Right, deliberately slowing things down.
That was the accusation from the Indian side, yeah.
Oh.
Gill clearly felt Crawley was dragging his feet, trying to burn the clock.
To stop Bumrah getting another over in.
Exactly. Jasprit Bumrah, India's star pacer. Gill wanted him to have another crack at the English openers before stumps. So the verbals got quite heated.
Mm-hmm.
Reports say Gill specifically challenged Crawley to show some guts against Bumrah. A clear taunt, Try to get under his skin, maybe rattle him.
And it wasn't just a quick word either, was it?
No. This dragged on. It threatened to really blow up into a full argument.
Until the umpires had to step in.
Right. They had to intervene, try and restore some order. That final over, believe it or not, ended up lasting 7 minutes.
7 minutes. Wow. Imagine being there or watching live, the crowd on the edge of their seats.
Absolutely. Moments like that, they elevate sport beyond just, the runs and wickets.
They really do. And what's fascinating, as you said, is how fast something like this blows up. It transcends the pitch, becomes a cultural moment.
Amplified exponentially by social media, of course.
Instantly. The reaction online was immense. Fans totally divided, some loving Gill's aggression, others criticizing it.
Memes, edits, tweets flying everywhere.
And Stuart Broad, the former England bowler, he chimed in.
Yeah, with a pretty ironic remark, joked that the 7-minute over was his favorite of the whole series.
He would, highlighting the absurdity, the entertainment value.
Right, but then you had Dinesh Karthik, the Indian commentator, praising those last 5 minutes, saying they were emblematic of the whole drama-packed series, a perfect microcosm.
And it wasn't Gill's first run-in during the series, was it?
No, that's a good point. He'd had an earlier clash, reportedly quite intense, with Ben Duckett, too.
Strong language reported there as well.
That's what the reports suggested, yeah.
Yeah.
So it indicates a pattern, perhaps, of this more assertive, maybe even provocative approach from Gill.
And the comparisons came thick and fast online, didn't they?
Immediately
Yeah.
to Virat Kohli's on-field persona, which, for an Indian cricketer, is a huge comparison.
Absolutely. Kohli's known for that fire, that competitiveness.
So comparing Gill to him, it says a lot about Gill's rising stature and maybe how the public is embracing this more aggressive style.
So this raises an important question then. How do these dramatic, often confrontational moments, amplified like this online, how do they reinforce cricket's identity? as this blend of sport and, well, spectacle for a global audience.
It's a key part of the modern game, I think. It's clearly not just about the technical skill anymore. It's about the personalities, the psychological battles, the confrontations.
The narratives.
Exactly. The compelling narratives that unfold. And fans react with such creativity, don't they? You mentioned the memes, but also invoking pop culture.
Yeah, I saw posts casting Siraj, another Indian player, as a law enforcer trying to calm things down.
Right, and references to Bollywood's Login.
The classic cricket film where everything hinges on the match.
Precisely. That weaving in of cultural references, it adds this almost theatrical, cinematic layer to what's already a riveting test series.
It creates a deeper connection for fans, doesn't it? These moments become folklore.
They do. They stick in the memory far longer than just the score sometimes. Speaking of which, the score at Stumps.
Right. England were 2 for no loss, leading by just 2 runs.
After both teams scored exactly 387 in their first innings.
Incredible. Underscores just how tight this match was.
Absolutely finely balanced, and those moments of personality clash, high stakes, they just amplify everything. It becomes part of the collective memory.
It shapes how you see the players, the game itself. It's crucial for modern sports entertainment.
Exactly. Player personality, that controlled aggression, it plays a huge role in the narrative now.
Yeah.
Turns matches into sagas. Heroes, villains, twists, keeps the audience hooked.
Okay, so from the, let's say, exhilarating highs of sporting drama, we have to pivot now to something truly heartbreaking. A deeply concerning story that grabbed headlines globally.
Yeah, the Air India flight AI-171 crash.
And a tragedy of immense proportions. This flight, AI-171, a Boeing 787 Dreamliner.
Modern aircraft.
Yeah. En route to London Gatwick from Ahmedabad. Shortly after takeoff, it tragically crashed into a medical college hostel below.
The human cost.
Yeah.
Just immense, devastating. 260 people killed.
Including 53 British nationals.
And unbelievably, all but one person on board the plane.
Just one survivor. It's harrowing. And it immediately prompted this urgent, deep investigation. How could this happen?
Understandably, Indian and international aviation authorities involved.
And the preliminary report, it's just been released. And the findings are, frankly, shocking, perplexing even.
What did it say?
It reveals that the fuel control switches for both engines. Yeah. Both. Were manually moved to the cutoff position seconds after takeoff.
Manually cut off.
Yeah.
Seconds after takeoff.
Yes, causing an immediate fatal loss of thrust. The aircraft just fell out of the sky.
That is highly unusual.
Yeah.
And deeply troubling. Aviation experts must be finding this incredibly strange.
They are, because modern planes have safeguards, right, to prevent accidentally hitting critical switches like that.
Absolutely. They're usually guarded or recessed or need a two-step action, something to stop exactly this kind of inadvertent operation.
So for both to be moved to cutoff almost at the same time, it just defies the usual understanding of human error in these systems.
And the cockpit voice recorder.
That adds another layer of mystery. Apparently, one pilot is heard asking why the fuel was cut.
Asking why.
Yes. And the other pilot reportedly denies doing it, denies responsibility.
Okay, so that immediately points the investigation. Where?
Towards, and this is the phrasing used, either extraordinary human error or deliberate action.
Deliberate action.
That's one of the leading theories being considered, alongside error. Because, crucially, no technical malfunctions were reported in these initial findings. Nothing mechanically wrong that could explain a sudden, total loss of power like that.
So the focus shifts very heavily onto the human element.
Right. Which is exceptionally rare this early and this starkly in an investigation like this, especially given the safeguards.
And the pilots.
Yeah.
Experienced.
Very. Captain Sumit Sabharwal and First Officer Clive Kunder both had thousands of flight hours on this specific aircraft type on this route.
So not inexperienced hands.
Yeah.
Which makes it even more baffling.
Exactly. It adds to the gravity of the question surrounding this whole tragedy.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's important to remember aviation is still statistically very safe globally.
Despite horrific incidents like this.
Yes. This event, especially with these preliminary findings, is seen as an exceptionally rare occurrence, an anomaly.
Which demands the most rigorous investigation possible.
Absolutely. The focus on whether it was mechanical failure, grave error, or chillingly intentional sabotage, it underscores the lengths they go to, not just to assign blame, but to learn lessons.
To strengthen future safety, protocols, training, maybe even cockpit design or security.
It will inevitably influence all of those things worldwide.
And the human impact, of course, continues. The families.
Unbearable grief, frustration, demanding answers, justice, transparency, accountability,
Understandably, memorials held across India.
and those 53 British families involved too.
Then there's the lone survivor, seated in 11A, apparently.
Miraculous. And that's inevitably sparked conversations about seating safety, hasn't it? The safest seat debate.
Always happens after something like this, speculative of course, but it shows the psychological impact.
And legally.
Legal experts are advising families, urging caution, don't rush into signing compensation documents, wait for the final report.
To understand the full scope of liability. Makes sense.
Air India says they're cooperating fully. The UK government has pledged to review the findings closely.
It's going to be a long road for those families.
It really is. What specifically stands out to you about this immediate focus on human action versus a technical fault in this preliminary report? It feels quite direct, quite early.
It's truly striking, isn't it? Because normally, aviation investigations methodically rule out mechanical issues first, environmental factors, before really zeroing in on the human element.
Standard procedure.
Right. So the fact that this preliminary report highlights the manual cutoff of both engines so quickly.
And combined with that cockpit recording.
Yes, where one pilot denies responsibility. It just forcefully shifts the lens straight to human involvement. Was it an incredibly rare catastrophic error that somehow bypassed all training, all safeguards? Or was it something deliberate?
Chilling thought.
It pushes the boundaries of conventional safety thinking, raises complex, deeply unsettling questions about human factors in these highly automated systems. It's uncomfortable but necessary territory.
Okay, let's shift gears completely now from tragedy to, well, a significant stride in national ambition, technology.
Right. India launching its first fully homegrown AI plus smartphone.
This isn't just another gadget, it's being framed as a major milestone, a step towards digital sovereignty.
Indeed. Developed by a company called Next Quantum Shift Technologies, led by Madhav Sheth.
The former CEO of Realm India, he brings a lot of experience.
He does, and the core emphasis here is made in India, not just assembled, but entirely designed, engineered, and governed within India.
From concept to data management?
Exactly. It's a fusion of national self-reliance at Manadhara Bharat with cutting-edge AI innovation. A strategic move.
And Sheath's been quite vocal about the mission, hasn't he?
Yes, in an NDTV interview, he really hammered home the importance of privacy, trust, and breaking the dominance of foreign players in the market.
And that dominance is huge, right? Foreign companies control something like 80%.
A staggering 80% of India's massive 5 lakh crore smartphone market. That's enormous. Significant money leaving the country, potential data vulnerabilities.
So this phone is a direct challenge to that.
A fundamental challenge. It integrates secure infrastructure, locally hosted data. That's the key differentiator.
How so?
Sheath explicitly stated many conventional phones, especially from foreign brands, are potentially linked to hidden surveillance and foreign data policies, implying user data might be vulnerable or subject to external government access.
Whereas this AI plus smartphone
Puts privacy and data security front and center. Ensures user data stays within India under Indian regulations. That's a massive selling point for consumers and for the government's digital sovereignty goals.
And there's tech behind this claim. It's not just marketing.
No, there seems to be substance. It's built on something called Engstic Quantum OS, described as a full-stack platform.
Meaning?
Hardware, software, cloud systems, all hosted in India, designed with end-to-end encryption from the start. Reduces reliance on third-party data processing, maybe uses federated learning for AI, keeping data on the device.
Right, so the data doesn't necessarily have to leave your phone.
Potentially, yeah. And they're using government-approved servers via Google India, partnering with Flipkart for distribution. So it looks like a comprehensive, vertically integrated approach.
Building a whole ecosystem.
Seems like it. And here's where it gets really interesting. Sheath is explicitly drawing on his experience with Chinese brands.
His time at Realm.
Exactly. He mentioned knowing their supply chains, their processes, but also, crucially, their limitations. Perhaps data policies or reliance on external components.
So he sees this as more than just a phone launch.
Much more. A bold strategic move to create a truly Indian global brand. He thinks the time is ripe for Indian brands to step up, demonstrate strength globally. Not just be consumers, but leaders.
It fits perfectly with that broader Atmanirbhar Bharat vision, doesn't it? Self-reliant India.
Absolutely. Pushing for homegrown tech, domestic manufacturing, self-reliance across sectors.
And with global concerns about data privacy, national security rising, this model, privacy-focused Indian-built, offers a compelling alternative.
It's a statement. Economic ambition, yes, but also strategic independence.
Could it reshape India's tech landscape? Inspire more local innovation?
Potentially, yes. A
Yeah.
ripple effect. It's not just about computing, it's about digital autonomy, setting a precedent, perhaps, for other nations worried about data privacy and security.
What stands out to you about the sheer ambition here, beyond just the tech itself? Are there potential trade-offs people should think about, like app availability maybe? Integration with global services if it's so locally focused?
That's a really important question. What strikes me is that this isn't just about selling phones, it's a national strategic play, an assertion of digital sovereignty where data is seen as this critical resource.
The new oil.
Exactly. Building trust from the ground up, hardware, software, cloud, all managed within India. Now, yes, competing with mature global app ecosystems, ensuring seamless integration, that might be a hurdle initially,
A challenge.
definitely. But the long-term vision seems clear. Establish a secure, trustworthy digital foundation for India's massive population. It's a powerful statement about prioritizing security and self-reliance, perhaps even over immediate, maybe more convenient global integration.
It signals a potential shift, doesn't it? Nations wanting more control over their digital infrastructure.
A growing global trend, certainly. Reducing reliance on foreign tech giants, not just for economic reasons, but for national security, data privacy. And India, with its huge market, growing digital economy, tech talent, it's uniquely positioned to potentially lead in this space, maybe offer a model for other developing nations.
Okay, moving from digital independence now to a far more complex and frankly distressing situation on the ground. In Assam.
Yes, the large-scale eviction drive making headlines, sparking controversy, humanitarian concern.
On Saturday, 1,080 families were targeted in Golpara district in the Paikan Reserve Forest area.
And this wasn't isolated, was it? It was the fifth such operation in just 1 month,
Fifth in a month. Wow.
bringing the total displaced to over 3,300 families in that short period, mostly Bengali origin Muslims, across several districts: Dhubri, Lakhimpur, Nalbari, Golpara.
And the official reason given by authorities.
They state the goal is to clear encroached forests and government land, often citing a high court directive aimed at reducing human-elephant conflict.
Which is a genuine environmental issue in that region.
It is, but the scale and the specific targeting of these communities has raised significant questions.
And it's a stark contrast, isn't it, between the official directives and the reality for people on the ground.
Absolutely. Residents like Rokibul Hussain watching helplessly as bulldozers demolished homes they'd often started dismantling themselves, preparing to leave.
Moving belongings, stripping roofs, knowing it was coming.
Yeah. And what's notable, perhaps, is that unlike some previous drives in Assam, which saw violence, even fatalities,
Right, there have been tragic clashes before.
this time reportedly no violent resistance occurred, which could reflect resignation, maybe, or a decision to avoid escalating things further.
But that doesn't mean acceptance.
Not at all. Locals described living under constant fear. Loudspeaker warnings since mid-June, just waiting anxiously.
And now facing homelessness.
Many are, relying on makeshift tarpaulin shelters. In the intense July heat, dire conditions, especially for kids, the elderly.
What about land claims? Some have lived there a long time, haven't they?
Decades in some cases. Claims of having purchased land from earlier Garo inhabitants, but these often failed in court. Lack of formal land titles, recognized documents. It highlights complex, often unrecorded land ownership issues. Very few legal options left for them.
And the operation itself, the logistics sound massive.
Almost militaristic.
Yeah.
36 bulldozers across 6 blocks. Over 1,000 security personnel, including armed commandos.
Ensuring it happens swiftly without hindrance.
Exactly. And as homes were razed, utilities were dismantled. Water lines, electric transmitters, making survival even harder for those left behind. Serious concerns about health, well-being.
So, connecting these threads, what does it all mean? It feels incredibly complex.
It is a profound interplay of, yes, environmental conservation goals, but also deep-rooted land rights issues, and importantly, a contentious demographic policy, all unfolding with a huge human cost.
And the political dimension adds tension.
Immensely. Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma has been explicit about a vision of demographic restoration in these eviction zones.
That's highly charged language.
Very. It implicitly links certain communities, primarily the Bengali origin Muslims being evicted, to encroachment, and suggests reshaping the region's population makeup. Critics argue this carries strong communal undertones. It taps into historical anxieties and policies around encroachment, in various parts of India.
And the opposition.
Figures like Congress MP Rakibul Hussain are promising compensation, rehabilitation if they come to power, offering some hope perhaps.
But oversight seems limited. AIUDF legislators denied entry.
Reportedly, yes. AIUDF represents many of these communities. Being denied access raises concerns about transparency, accountability in the operation itself.
What's fascinating, though deeply troubling, is that stark contrast in narratives, isn't it? Official claims versus the lived experience.
Exactly. Environmental protection, court orders, versus people watching their homes destroyed, feeling victimized, dispossessed. It highlights this profound humanitarian challenge, where development or environmental goals clash directly with the rights and livelihoods of long-term residents, especially vulnerable, often politically marginalized groups.
People sitting beside the ruins, nowhere to go immediately.
Awaiting clarity, pleading for humane treatment. It's a snapshot of a deep issue playing out across India. Land, environment, identity, politics, all interwoven.
And it really underscores that tension between state directives and resident rights, especially when framed in terms of demographic restoration targeting a specific community. Who benefits? Who pays the price?
Fundamental questions. It's a living example of how land, environment, and identity politics can result in profound human displacement.
Okay. From those stark ground realities, let's pivot again to the, well, always intricate and captivating world of Indian politics.
Yes. An unexpected endorsement causing ripples.
Right. Congress MLA Bellur Gopalakrishna endorsing Union Minister Nitin Gadkari.
A senior BJP figure.
Exactly. Endorsing him as a suitable candidate for prime minister, which is significant, coming from an opposition MLA, about a ruling party minister.
And this didn't just come out of the blue, did it? There was a catalyst.
Right. It seems linked to a recent remark by RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat.
The RSS being the ideological parent of the BJP, Bhagwat's words carry huge weight.
And he suggested leaders aged 75 and above should step down from power.
A statement widely interpreted almost immediately as a subtle nudge towards Prime Minister Narendra Modi,
who is 74, approaching that age threshold.
Exactly. It sparked instant speculation about leadership succession within the BJP.
And Gopalakrishna, the Congress MLA, he didn't just welcome the idea, he built a case for it.
He did, quite meticulously. Pointing to past instances within the BJP itself, he cited B.S. Yediyurappa, the former Karnataka chief minister.
Powerful figure.
Very. Who resigned after turning 75, supposedly under BJP pressure, despite being politically active. Gopalakrishna used this to highlight a perceived double standard, perhaps, or an unacknowledged internal party guideline.
And his praise for Gadkari was specific.
Yes, and quite strategic. He cited Gadkari's perceived concern for ordinary citizens, even referenced Gadkari's own public remarks about rising inequality, wealth concentrating.
An opposition MLA quoting a ruling party minister's critique of economic policy.
Bold.
Very bold. He emphasized Gadkari's candidness, his pragmatic development focus, arguing this makes him better suited for the top post, and urged the BJP high command to heed Bhagwat's advice, essentially trying to drive a wedge.
So connecting this to the bigger picture, this isn't just one MLA's comment.
No, it taps into that intricate dance. Alliances, power plays, perceived vulnerabilities, especially with the next general election on the horizon, however distant.
Bhagwat's initial comment definitely stirred things up, drew attention to potential internal tensions in the BJP, leadership succession, ideological alignment. That's how some observers read it, yes. A potential fault line between the party's ideological roots and its current political leadership.
So this raises an important question. How might this kind of cross-party maneuvering an opposition figure using an RSS comment, how might it shape public perception, influence the pre-election narrative?
It's undeniably strategic from Gopalakrishna. He's using the RSS chief's words to critique the current BJP leadership.
While proposing one of their own ministers as a better alternative.
Exactly. Highlighting perceived contradictions between governance and ideology. Positioning Gadkari, often seen as more populist or pragmatic, as an appealing, maybe less divisive alternative. It's a classic political chessboard move, sowing doubt, capitalizing on perceived fissures.
It's a fascinating glimpse into those internal dynamics, the strategic thinking, how even subtle comments can be seized and amplified.
Absolutely. Especially when an opposition figure echoes sentiments seemingly from within the ruling party's ideological core. It amplifies whispers of dissent, influences the conversation, adds complexity. It's sophisticated political strategy.
Okay. Next up, we dive into a controversy that really touches a nerve in India. The language divide.
Ah, yes, the viral social media post. caused quite an uproar, especially in southern cities like Bengaluru and Chennai.
The Post basically denigrated Kannada and Tamil to ancient, rich languages, calling them languages of poor economies.
A hugely provocative statement. The user argued there was no point in learning regional languages in economically disadvantaged areas.
His logic being.
He'd learn Japanese or Chinese if living there because of their economies. But in southern Indian cities, he'd just opt for English, implying English was the only language with economic value there, directly linking language value to economic prosperity.
Which, predictably, drew intense criticism.
Immediate and intense, condemned as elitist, culturally insensitive, dismissive of regional identity, and India's linguistic diversity.
Critics fired back hard. Emphasizing respect for local languages isn't just courtesy, it's vital for civic harmony, belonging, especially for long-term residents.
Some pointed out that foreigners often learn Indian regional languages proudly, as mark of respect and integration, directly countering his condescending view.
It taps into that deeper historical tension around language in India, doesn't it? Hindi imposition debates, resistance.
Very much so. And the controversy didn't stop there, did it? He doubled down.
Yeah, with an even more inflammatory suggestion, limiting investment in cities like Bengaluru and Chennai to small-scale industries.
To prevent, in his words, language-based harassment of migrants.
Just wow. Calling language harassment, that was seen as incredibly divisive, disrespectful, especially in places where language is so tied to culture, pride, history.
Understandably. Commenters strongly rebuked the idea that language choice should be dictated by economic stereotypes.
Many argued that resisting local linguistic norms is what disrupts harmony, undermines inclusivity, creates friction.
A point that resonates deeply in a multilingual society. Respecting diversity is fundamental to unity, even with the economic pull of English.
So here's where it gets really interesting. This single post, it just reignited these deep distinctions. Linguistic respect, regional pride, the dangers of linking language to economic hierarchies.
It perfectly exposes that persistent tension, doesn't it? Globalization, pushing for uniformity, often via English.
Versus India's inherent, ancient, incredibly rich, multilingual identity.
Hundreds of languages, dialects, the question of linguistic preference in booming cities attracting migrants from everywhere. It's a constant, often contentious debate.
Economic arguments for English versus cultural arguments for regional languages.
And those regional languages aren't just communication tools. They carry history, literature, art, social cohesion, their identity.
So what stands out to you about how economic narratives get tangled up with these cultural and linguistic debates? It seems like a recurring theme.
It's a powerful, often volatile dynamic. Economic aspiration pulls towards a common language like English, global connectivity, jobs, opportunities.
The pragmatic view.
Right. But that often clashes head-on with deep cultural identity, fierce pride tied to regional languages. These aren't just tools. They're vessels of identity, heritage, community.
So when you tie economic value explicitly to one language,
You inherently, even if unintentionally, devalue entire cultures, communities, their history.
Yeah.
And that sparks intense emotional, social, political reactions. People feel their identity is under attack. It's a societal struggle, preserving tradition versus embracing modern economic forces.
finally today we turn to a deeply tragic, sobering incident from Balasore, a stark reminder of critical systemic failures.
Yes, heartbreaking. A college student setting herself on fire. Allegedly after her sexual harassment complaint against a head of department was ignored, mishandled,
The details are horrific. She sustained 95% burn injuries, life-threatening.
and a fellow student trying to save her also suffered severe 70% burns. Just immense human cost.
The official response was swift, at least publicly. Odisha's higher education minister, Suryavanshi Suraj.
Stated the principal was suspended, the accused teacher, Samir Sahu, arrested. An inquiry team formed to investigate the college's handling of the complaint, identify the failures.
The government's covering medical expenses for both students. A necessary step, but small comfort.
And Minister Suraj emphasized reviewing the functioning of internal complaints committees, the ICCs, in all institutions.
These ICCs are mandated by law, right, to handle harassment grievances in workplaces, educational institutions, supposed to be a safe redressal mechanism.
Exactly. And this incident has undeniably spotlighted critical failures, inaccountability in the implementation of these mechanisms.
And there was a deeply troubling detail revealed by the local MP, Pratap Chandra Sarangi.
Yes, that the victim had actually approached him previously, seeking help outside the college system.
So he knew about it.
He contacted the principal, the police superintendent, received assurances of a prompt, fair internal inquiry, which means the system was alerted and still failed her.
Those assurances fell tragically short. Sarangi publicly criticized the college's internal committee, said it seemed biased.
Pointed to procedural gaps, asserted the committee was inclined to protect the accused, even sidelined the student representative during the probe, compromising its impartiality.
He met the inquiry committee, urged the minister for decisive action. It shows how these internal mechanisms, if compromised, become part of the problem.
Precisely. So the broader implications. What does this all mean? It's a devastating reminder of the consequences when systems designed to protect fail, due to negligence, complicity, structural flaws.
The public reaction has been strong. Demands for reform.
Understandably. Reform in how colleges handle these complaints, particularly around the transparency, impartiality, integrity of internal investigations, an urgent need for these committees to be genuinely independent, fair, empowering for victims, and accountable, not shields for institutions or perpetrators, a call for systemic change.
This isn't just about one college, is it? It reflects a broader societal challenge, ensuring justice, safety, real protection within institutions.
Educational, professional. It prompts a deep introspection and hopefully a rigorous reevaluation. How seriously are complaints taken? Is committee training adequate for impartiality, empathy? Are accountability mechanisms robust enough to ensure such failures aren't repeated, to ensure victims feel safe coming forward?
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, we've really covered a lot of ground, an incredibly diverse array of stories.
Each a unique window into India's multifaceted nature.
Those saw passions ignite on the cricket field, grappled with the tragedy and mystery of the air crash,
Celebrated that milestone in digital sovereignty.
faced the stark human cost of the evictions, navigated political power plays,
Confronted tensions around language and identity.
and bore witness to that heartbreaking call for justice in Balasore.
Each distinct, yes, but together they contribute to this larger understanding. Societal dynamics, aspirations, challenges in a nation constantly evolving. Connecting these dots gives you that more nuanced picture, beyond isolated reports.
Exactly. Headlines are never just isolated incidents. They're threads woven into the complex fabric of a nation. So as you reflect on these stories, the triumphs, tragedies, ambitions, conflicts, what patterns, maybe surprising connections, emerge for you when you look at them together?
It's a good question to ponder.
Maybe consider how that spirit of self-reliance in the new smartphone, how that might echo in the demand for accountability after the crash, or how cultural pride, so fierce in the language debate, also fuels the passion of cricket fans. It's all connected, isn't it, in this grand unfolding tapestry of India. Understanding those connections is key to being truly well-informed.